Howdy, BeefaloBart here, and this is a work in progress for our Arma2 mod called Lingor Alien Life, which will probably change names pretty soon. What it is you have plenty of choices, and I'll just show you by starting off. You have the men in black. They are the police force to the aliens, but you do have to have a police force. And as you notice, they do have stun guns. Not some corny life mod where you're using M9SD as your stun weapon. Here inside your cop base is a little bit of security, kind of help you out a little bit. They're not just for decoration; they'll come into play later in the mod. You do have a motor pool where you'll be able to purchase your vehicles for law enforcement use only, which will be the police car, the black SUV, and the, I believe it's the Lada or whatever, the black limo. So this is going to be the Civ spawn. This is the alien spawn. There will be gun shops, city hall, everything that you need that would be in a normal life mod. Now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate my really pathetic driving skills, so bear with me here. But as you leave from the cop base, this is just an example. I'm starting off as a police officer, in this case MIB. I will have it limited to where only MIB personnel can operate the black SUV and the black car. Police officers will only be able to get the police car and what is currently an ambulance. We'll try to get it a modified version of that as a reskin later, so that you at least have a police van to transport more than one inmate at a time to take them to jail. If you're not familiar with Lingor, this is probably one of the best maps you're going to find anywhere as a downloaded content. Sorry, I haven't checked everybody's map, so I can't say 100%, but so far, of all the maps that I've downloaded, this has been absolutely the best overall map for quality of content and things for people to do in a multiplayer environment. And you put that stop sign there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to the alien spawn and show you, in fact, that yes, they are in fact aliens. They're not some mod zombie where you're just taking civilians and making them walk funny. I'm not going to poke fun at other mods, but this is in fact going to be a constant work in progress, just like the tasers. I will actually have to put a link in the description later of all the different mods that are required. There's very few. You're going to need the Lingor map. You're going to need the Community Base Addon. You're going to need, of course, Arma2 with Operation Arrowhead, and I'm using the beta with British Armed Forces Light and the PMC Light. I'm also using the Aliens mod, and big props to the guys that put together the stuff in this mod. As you see, that's the Zeta Mothership. I'm going to be using them primarily just as a placeholder for the communities for the aliens. And these are the aliens with no genitals. But yes, they are a fully modeled and fully working and functioning alien. I think they look pretty damn good. Now, I'll switch over to the aliens. Now, I did have to make one modification to the modification, if that makes sense. See, I was in Men in Black. You can select police officer. The modification I had to make to this mod is whenever you played an alien race in multiplayer, it gave you this yellowish red tint to the view. And, okay, if you're going to play the alien race, you kind of expect it. They're not human, so they're not going to have the same kind of vision. But it was a little bit much, and I found that if you played an alien, decided you no longer want to be an alien, and you changed over to, say, a civilian or to a police officer, that reddish tint to the screen stayed. It did not go away. So I actually had to go into the files of the mod itself for the alien mod and remove that actual function. And yes, I have all the AI still spawned, just so I could show what they look like a lot easier. Anytime you're playing on a multiplayer server, then yeah, you're just gonna disable AI. That way you don't have herds of people just standing around. As you saw, once I changed over, the MIB that I was using took off running and he ran back to his car. Got an MIB personnel is that he's scared. He has to run back and hide in his car from a colony of aliens. So let's hop in there and say hello. Wow, ugly human. Now, one thing I noticed about the alien mod, I look down and I'm wearing a chest piece. But whenever I look at my character some other way, he's not wearing that chest piece. So it's kind of unusual. It's a small glitch. So let's change back over and let's go to the civilians. I did want to have to where you could play a civilian faction. You're going to have your typical life type stuff where you're going to have thug wannabes and kiddies that are going to go around and robbing people and crime. To limit that, civilians will only be able to purchase handgun-based weapons only, and the only rifle available to civilians will be the Lee Enfield. Now, again, with them all spawned, it just kind of shows you the diversity of what I chose here. The priest I may keep or get rid of, I'm kind of unsure. The character I'm actually playing is the assistant, and yes, I added women in. Why not? There's female players out there. Why disrespect them by not having any female characters for them to play? And only 2 of them are kind of slutty. The rest of them look normal. The reason for limiting handguns only and Lee Enfield only is to minimize the random death matching. Alright, some of the features I love about this map is you have racetracks. You got the big giant raceway here, and you'll find that there's some ramps and stuff there to occupy your time with. On the other side of the map, and this is a huge map. I said, if you've never used this map before, you need to download it and play with it. Another raceway here. And then you have 2 smaller off-road tracks. One here, and then one slightly to the right of it. Or I should say to the east. Yeah, getting back on the weapon thing. Limiting the weapons kind of increases the realism factor a little bit. And yes, I did find a small dirt runway here that I hadn't noticed before until I was making this video. You're not going to have civilians normally running around a well-populated island carrying an AS-50 with thermal weapon sights. It's just not something you're going to see every day. And we're going to ignore this section right over here. And that would be the alien base. That'll come in later. Alright, here's a big overview of the map. This is a well worth download map, and I love it. I'm going to show you that the tasers are real. You can actually sight over them. They have reload animations. They work. Currently, right now, I don't have all the files in on this server, so they don't do the full effect. But when all their files are there, these act just like a real taser. They have magazines to reload. This is the X26. This is a single shot only. There is a 3-shot version, which will be an upgrade for police officers to purchase later. The fire animation is nice too. Get a nice jolt of electricity. Even though that's not how they actually work, but still fun to play with. It gives a cool effect. Right now, they currently are not doing any damage, but they do work when they're installed correctly. It will actually stun them and disarm them. It will take their weapons away, and they will be on the ground stunned for, I believe, 10 seconds, which is fair enough time for you to go over and restrain them. If you've got the 3-shot, you can actually stun 3 at a time. 1, 2, and 3, bang, 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 and then go restrain all 3 of them. So if you've got a van to transport with, throw all 3 of them in your car and take them all to jail. And this is going to be the city hall. It's in the center of cop base. You want a gun license, you want a driver's license, you want any kind of license, you come to this building right here. Now, this doesn't mean you come here to get your drug license. That will be a separate area. But this is the work in progress, and I will be making more updates later as to what's going on with the mod. And thanks for watching. Again, this is BeefaloBart. Yep.